This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hey, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Huron County, Michigan. Now this map can be found at modhub.us. Yes, I know, that site. But trust me, it has been uploaded by the original map author, so as much as it pains me, that is a legit link. Yeah. Anyway, this is a 16x map also, so it is available for PC only. If you're not sure what 16x means, that means that you can fit 16 standard game size maps into this one single map. Now let's read a little bit of the description. This 16x map, which is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers square, is loosely based on the farm near Bad Axe, Michigan. The area has been altered slightly to make room for more sell points and better forestry. There are custom versions of all of the base game production factories that have higher speeds and increased storage capacities, plus 2 custom factories in a fertilizer factory and a forage mixing plant. The turbines, aka the windmills on the map, may be purchased when you buy the farmland, and therefore they can also be sold and they will generate you an hourly income. There are 215 fields ranging from small to very large. Now, we'll say that those windmills are potentially problematic, and I'm going to talk to you about a way you can get rid of them, because every single one of these windmills causes a LUA error when you load up the map. The error shouldn't cause any issues, but why have 70 LUA errors when you could do one thing and basically get rid of all the windmills and therefore get rid of all the LUA errors? I do hope the map author updates the map to get rid of all of those LUA errors. I'm sure it's just one fine-tuned little configuration that is going to take care of that. We're going to use all of the mods we typically use when we do map videos. That includes additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, and field calculator. We are also adding player speed to that list so that we can get around the map with some resemblance of speed. Let's go ahead and watch the map load on in. I did load this map up in farm manager mode, and when you do that, there are no buildings at the main farm. There's also no machinery on the main farm. So if you start in farm manager or start from scratch, you will be starting with a complete blank slate. Now you may notice this map takes a bit longer to load up, because of all of the land area and everything that it needs to process. If you find the map hanging like this one is at 65%, do not fear, the game has not frozen. It is simply loading in the map and all of the terrain. It will quickly move on. And what we're going to see is we're going to see a huge list of LUA errors. There are 70, in fact, because that is how many windmills are on the map. The easiest way of getting rid of all those LUA errors is to save the game and then go into your items.xml in your save game, and you're going to find all of the windmills and basically just delete them all out. If you delete out all the windmills, they will be gone next time you load up the map, but it also means you won't have the availability of possibly getting some income as a result of those windmills also. And here we are loaded into the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. Zoom on out, and wowzers, this is a busy map. And if this wasn't a 16x map, you'd think, man, these are some pretty darn small fields, but that is definitely far from the case. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lands area. We start out by owning field 93, 94, and 96, as well as the main farm. If we click on that, that is 193 acres in size. That is right. This little corner of the map, as I zoom on in, is 193 acres in size. $3,128,000 to buy. So you really need to be starting this map up on new farmer mode or cheating in a whole heap ton of money in order to be able to buy any fields on this map. Big old field 160. It is 623 acres in size, and it is $10.2 million. Let's go find a little field. Let's find the smallest field possible. Oh, field 59 looks nice and small, but it is also including field 60, 61, and 62. And that is 79 acres in size and $1.2 million. We have all of the standard crop types available to us here on Farm Sim 22. Let's go ahead and take a look at the crop counter. We do have the base game crop counter available to us on Farm Sim. And if we take a look at our prices screen, you're going to see that we have a multitude of sell points for most of our crops. In fact, we can indeed sell every single crop that is available to us here on Farm Sim 22, including sugar beet cut. We can sell our eggs, wool, and milk, as well as our wood chips, silage, hay, straw, and grass. We also can sell every single production item that we can make on Farm Sim 22 embedded in the map. So thank you, Jesus. That is very good, because I really don't know what the big deal is about trying to be able to sell every single thing that you can make in the map. We also do have the ability to get rid of our stones, although I have to say, with fields this size, I really think you're going to be turning off stones. If you take a look at our starting equipment, it is all new. None of it is leased. We do start out with a horse barn with, I don't know, about 8 horses there. There are indeed contracts available on the map, and we do not have any production chains that we own at the start. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. We start out with the New Holland T6 155, the New Holland T7 275, and the New Holland T8 410 Genesis. We have the Mack Pinnacle 6x4 semi-trailer, semi-truck. We have the Case Axle Flow 7150 harvester. Surprised we don't have the New Holland harvester, but hey, we have that then paired up with the 3050 Terraflex 28-foot grain header. That is also going to be able to make use of the N6030 grain header trailer. We have a 1986 pickup truck and the Load King Distinction semi-trailer, as well as the Flegel ASW 271 trailer. We have the Kuhn Prolander 7500 cultivator, the ES Pro 6000 RC seeder. We have the Breedal K105 fertilize and lime spreader. We have the Rapide 580V forage wagon, and that is our starting equipment. Wow. So let's go ahead and take a look around the farm here. Here is our career start point. We just kind of start in the middle of our farm. We walk forward, we're going to see our horse pen, our horse pasture. It is just a base game horse pasture, so nothing special there. We have a little bit of a pond in front of us. Now, I'm not really sure what the deal is with the map audio. I don't know if you can hear that. It's the first time I've noticed hearing it that way. I don't recall hearing it like that when I loaded in this map to test it. But at any rate, here we have a garage. Nice custom garage. Our blue pickup truck. A little bit of a New Holland theme, I believe. And then we have a custom farmhouse. I believe this farmhouse is credited with the Elk Mountain Modding Group. We go upstairs, we're going to find our sleep trigger. Located right here. And inside the bathroom is, well, where everybody changes their outfit. We have our wardrobe trigger inside the bathroom. I'm going to go ahead and load on in again because that audio is a little bit disturbing. All right, well, I went ahead and loaded the map on up a second time, and it is still doing that thing. Maybe it's going to settle down as we continue through the map. But at any rate, let's go ahead and continue on with our map tour. We've got some base game buildings here. And like I said, all of these buildings are gone if you load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch. Now, the trees remain, the shrubbery and the bushes and all that remain, but the buildings are gone. We've got most of our machinery is inside of this particular shed. We have our farm silo directly on the other side of the building. Right over there. Like that, we have custom siding here on these buildings. Go ahead and pull up PDA so you can see where we are in essence with respect to the rest of the map. So we have our dump station and our fill station right there. Then we have a garage or a maintenance trigger here on the other side of the large building. Located right there. And that is basically the main starting farm. And as far as I can tell, this map really is just geared toward this one main farm. All of the little squares you might see down on the PDA, they all, for the most part, reference little pockets of forestry. And then things like this are referencing the windmills out in the middle of the fields. So let's go ahead and get set up for the flyover. I'm going to turn on a player speed mod so we can fly around a bit faster than we would traditionally be able to walk. And then we're going to go back to the shop and jump in our Mahindra and do a little bit of driving. I don't think we're going to drive around the entire map because, again, this is a 16x map. So it is the equivalent of driving around 16 standard size maps. Once we gain a little bit of altitude, we'll start to do a little bit of a 360 spin here. And as you can see, this map, for the most part, is predominantly flat or mostly flat. Flat-ish, if you will. If it's not completely flat as a board, it is pretty darn close. And literally for as far as your eye can see, it is map. All right, so I have turned on player speed, and we are running at 16 times player speed, just so that we can get around this map fairly fast. But before we do that, let's jump back, because I keep forgetting to check our two new aspects, the field calculator and the field lease. So the field calculator is going to be useful because it's going to show us the field size in hectares. So the three fields that we own are 30 hectares, 29.5 hectares, and 2.92 hectares in size. And then when we take a look at some of these other fields, 11, 155, 71, 48, 62, 23, 56, 25. There we've got a couple little ones, 193, 177, 43, 40s, 60s, 30s, 76 hectares, 37, 58, 24s, 45s, 40, 246. That is the biggest field on the map. 84, 92, 155. And then let's jump over here to the farmland. You can see the kind of costs that we have here. 3 millions, 3.1 million for what we own, 7 million, 2 million, 5 million, $665,000, $2.3 million. So yeah, a lot of these plots of land are going to be very expensive. But again, they are some pretty large plots of land. So bringing in the money shouldn't be that all difficult to do. So yeah, all right. Back to our fly around. Again, we are cruising at 20 times player speed here. Here we have one of our sell points. Here we have a production element. And opposed to looking at every single production element, I think what we're going to do is just kind of fly around, and then we'll click on the various production elements and see where they are with respect to the map. If we get rid of all of these windmills, those Lua errors will go away. So if I was going to be playing the map, that is one of the very first things that I would do, just because I don't like having a bunch of things clutter up my log. So we have our animal dealer here with a sell point. Slip back around real fast. So field 186 is 92 acres in size. And we have another sell point, a big grocery. Let's go ahead and move across. Now, a 16x map, as I said in the intro, means that it is 16 standard map sizes in large. So you're going to be able to fit 4 maps across and 4 maps vertical. And that is then going to make a 16x map. As a result, the map is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers square, because a standard size map is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers square. A 4x map kind of confuses some people because it just happens to be 4 standard size maps and 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers squared. But that does not mean that a 8x map or a 16x map is 16 kilometers squared. If you do own the farm or the farmland that the windmill is on, you can indeed sell it. So if you wanted to get rid of the windmill simply because you didn't want to have to farm around it, you could sell it and then plow up all of that land and plant it down. Here we have another sell point. As we can see, the map is fairly flat. I've already said that once, but we'll just go ahead and reiterate that. We've got a dairy factory. Here we have, I believe this is our fertilizer factory. Now, with respect to production, there are 13 production elements on the map. They include a cereal, flour, dairy, bakery, carpentry, oil, grape, spinnery. We then have a sugar mill, a tailor, custom fertilizer factory, forage mixing, and the BGA. Here we have a sell point. So with respect to our grading system, the map is going to get a full 1 point with respect to having production built in or areas set aside for such. Here we have a biomass heating plant. We're going to give the map a full point with respect to being able to sell all of the base game crops, base game production items, and animal outputs. The farm can indeed be customized, so we're going to give the map a full point with that regard. So there we have the flour mill, I believe. We have another sell point. Buildings where appropriate are indeed using the new texture technique. That is because pretty much the buildings that do exist on the map, there aren't a whole lot of buildings on the map, but the buildings that do exist on the map are straight from the base game file, so they are indeed using the new texture technique. Here we have our flour mill, I believe. We have a restaurant sell point. And up here in the top northwest corner, we have another cell point. Now the map border leaves a little bit to be desired, but again, we are kind of well above where you would typically be as a general player playing the game when we do these aerial tours. Here we have the spinnery, a custom spinnery. And then this is a custom, I believe, grape processing facility. This is going to be our, I believe this is our sugar mill. We have our biogas plant. Our starting farm is over here on the right. We have a fuel station just up the road from the farm. Then we have the farmer's market just up the road from there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA and kind of walk through and locate where everything is on the map. So up here we have the Case Village Market sell point with the fast food market sell point. We have the Huron County Grains North sell point. Then we have the biomass heating plant sell point that is all the way across the northern edge of the map. We have the Northeast Bale Sales sell point that we've looked at. The HMC flour mill. We then have the tailor shop. We have the spinnery, the grape processing facility, the sugar mill, cereal factory. We have then the bakery and the fertilizer plant. We have the dairy. We have our forage mixing plant. We have the vehicle shop right smack dab in the middle of the map. We have our cereal factory. We have the main farm located right here, the fuel station, and then where we are, the Johnson's Farmers Market. We have the restaurant sell point, the oil plant, the Huron County Grains South, the Pigeon Stop and Shop, that is the grocery. We have the animal dealer sell point and the animal dealer itself. We have the Detroit style pizza restaurant sell point. We have the carpentry shop production point and Huron County East grains. So let's go ahead and jump over here to our vehicle shop. Like I said, it's kind of right smack dab in the middle of the map. Slow our player down, and we have, there we go. So here we have our shop location. We have our customized sell, repair, and trade trigger located right here. And then the shop is located right here. Let's go ahead and get our Mahindra so we can see where all our vehicles are going to be spawning at. But it looks like we have a fairly large area for our new machinery to spawn. So we do indeed have a very large area for our machinery to spawn in at. Shouldn't have too many issues at all acquiring large machines and lots of large machines. As far as getting out of the shop, we have two ways in and out of the shop. They're both fairly wide, so we shouldn't have issues getting in or out of the shop. And then when we were looking at the fly around, I was paying a little bit of attention to the road network itself, and it looked like the roads were fairly wide. I didn't really see any traffic on the map, so I don't think we have any AI traffic to contend with. I do think maybe this audio stuttering, I don't know if it's a byproduct of a 16x map. I don't know if it's a byproduct of those windmills. Like, I'm not seeing any of that come up. But that, in my opinion, would possibly deter from the playability of the map just overall, I think that would get a little bit of a little craze-inducing. Now let's talk about the map and its ratings, and really we're just going to wrap it up here because, again, I'm not going to drive around to every single sell point because that would probably take a good hour to traverse this map in all of the sell points. So, production being built in. Yes, the production is built in because we do have 13 production elements, 2 of which are custom. So here we have the bakery. All of the production elements are somewhat customized and industrialized, as the description said. So we have our dump point, our pallet spawn point. Typically with 16x maps, you see a lot of areas that are really not developed. I think the map author did a fairly darn good job at developing the land. Here we've got a fairly large plot. You can put additional production down or carve that up and make it into even more farmable land. So we have a cereal factory, flour, dairy, bakery, carpentry, oil, grape, spinnery, sugar mill, tailor, fertilizer plant, forage mixing, and a BGA. This map includes sell points for all the base game crops and production items and animal outputs. Yes, it does indeed. So we can indeed pretty much sell everything, grow everything, and make everything on the map, and not really have any issues with being able to sell those items. So we're going to give the map another full point with that regard. Can the farm be customized? Yes, it can, because on farm manager mode, you start out with nothing other than trees and bushes. Trees and bushes are easy enough to get rid of. In new farmer mode, that means you can sell all of the machinery, you sell all of the buildings, and really then kind of develop the land however you wanted to. So we're going to give the map a full point on that regard. Here we have the tailor. Is the map using the new texture technique for buildings and ground textures? Yes, it is. So we're going to give the map another full point on that regard. And that is going to leave us with the last grading criteria, and that is, are the triggers clearly marked? And yes, they are. They're all clearly marked. When I was going around checking the map out earlier today, everything looked like it was clearly marked with respect to where you would dump products, where you'd be able to pick products up if it was a production facility, where to interact with the production facility. So yes, we are going to give the map another full point with that regard. So guess what, people? That means that this is another 5 out of 5 map. That is 3 5 out of 5 maps that we have seen so far. Is this map going to be your cup of tea? Maybe not. Not every map is everyone's cup of tea. So you may feel that this map does not deserve that rating. You may feel the map does deserve that rating. Either way, that is fine. The criteria that we use to rate these maps is, for the most part, pretty objective, and therefore it is not very subjective, and it would be pretty hard to debate on something not having everything that we clearly have demonstrated this map does indeed have. Let me know down in the comments below, are you going to even consider possibly jumping on the Huron County, Michigan map? As of the recording of this video, it is version 1.1.0.0. You'll be able to legitimately, as much as it pains me, download this map over at modhub.us, but be aware. The issue is, when I link to this map, I am linking to version 1.1. If the map gets updated, the link that I am linking to is not going to reflect the latest version of the map. That is the biggest problem with modhub.us, is there is no versioning. Every upload is a new and unique URL, and therefore, if you are not overly aware of the fact that the map has been updated, you might not know to go look for a new update. Whoa. Whoa, I got a little squirrely when I was looking for my credits. Here we have that custom spinnery. And until next time, happy farming.